Okay. We're on the record in cause number DF2503749. Councils, will you please announce for the record?
Yes, Your Honor. Alan Wittenberg for Alyssa Castillo.
Lisa Margle for Gustavo Medina.
All right. And with those who intend to testify, please raise your right hands. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you'll give will be the truth and the whole truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. You may lower your hands. We're set here today on a request for de novo hearing filed by Mr. Medina regarding conservatorship and the rights and duties, school enrollment, possession and access, and child support. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Let's see. Attorney Dale?
Yes, it's Justin Dale here for the AG's office.
All right. And just to be clear, the request for de novo hearing that is before the court today is the only one that is filed regarding the temporary order. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
That's correct, Your Honor. We did file our requested relief, however.
Okay. I have both sides exhibits. The exhibits were pre-admitted. At this time, we're going to go ahead and admit mothers 1 through 6 and fathers 1 through 11. All right. And I have you all set at 10 minutes aside. This will include any opening, closing statements, should you all choose to make one, as well as any examination. Attorney Margle, at this time, would you like to make an opening statement?
Your Honor, since I'm a little limited on time, I'm just going to get right into it with my client.
All right. Attorney Wittenberg?
Yes, Your Honor. Very briefly, temporary orders were issued. I'll make a quick opening. Temporary orders were issued in August of this year, and the parties have been following them pretty well. There have been a few hiccups along the way when it first got started, but generally it's been working out very well. The child is living with mother in Midlothian, and she's making a lot of friends in school. She's doing very well in school. Her comportment is good, and she's very happy about the way it is. The evidence will show that Dad made a few hiccups. There have been some tardies. The first month, he got much better. The second month, only one tardy, and the third month, there was only one tardy. And the reason Father is responsible for those is the possession has been split, and he drives the child from his home in Garland to school in Midlothian. And but except for that issue, Your Honor, it's been working out very well. The only big problem, and we filed a motion for enforcement on that, is Father, although was ordered, has failed to pay any child support, and he's also failed to pay any medical support since it was ordered in August. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. State?
State waives opening.
Thank you. Attorney Margle, you may call your first witness.
Thank you. I'll call my client, Gustavo Medina.
Okay, you may proceed.
Okay. Mr. Medina, would you please state your name for the court?
Gustavo Medina.
And you are Ella's father, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And Ella is 6?
She is 6 years young.
Okay. And the two of you, you and her mother, Alyssa, you guys got an order through the Attorney General's office back in like 22, 23? Okay. So focusing just on the time since then, until you had your temporary orders hearing, where was Ella living?
She was mostly living with me in my possession in Garland.
Okay. And where does Alyssa live?
She lives in Midlothian now, but she's been moving from DeSoto to Midlothian and to Garland. But currently she's in Midlothian.
Okay. And when you said that Ella was staying mostly with you, what kind of schedule were you and Alyssa doing, like an agreed on schedule?
Yes, it was usually 1 week on, 1 week off. But it got to the point where she was living so far in DeSoto, I couldn't make the drive, so she couldn't pick her up. So Ella would just stay with me about 2 to 3 weeks, and then she has to see her mom. So I would drive up to her mom to drop her off for the weekend and stuff like that.
Okay. How often were you making that drive?
Well, I was doing all the drop-offs, all the pickups, even when it was her weekend or mine, about once a week,
Your
twice,
Honor,
twice a
I
week.
would object as to the vagueness. We'd like to know what time frame Mr. Medina is talking about.
Sustain.
Okay, so for say the last 6 months before this order, so like or let's say last school year. Um, how often was Alyssa seeing Ella during the last school year?
She wasn't seeing her much at all, actually. I was taking her to school, dropping her off at school. She was scheduled to pick up Ella on Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, but she only did it for about 2 weeks, because she couldn't find a ride. But she was mostly living with me in my possession in Garland because she was living out in Midlothian.
You say she was living in Midlothian, that's Alyssa?
Yes, yeah.
And what school was Ella going
She was
to?
going to Weaver Elementary in Garland.
Okay, did you put her in that school?
We actually both agreed to put her in that school. But then again, she broke our agreement and she moved to Midlothian.
Okay. And after she moved to Midlothian, did she take Ella with her or did Ella stay in Garland?
Ella stayed in Garland and she finished her school year off in Weaver.
Okay.
Yes.
And how did Ella do in school?
She did good. She did good. She was joining speech classes that she was doing really good at. After school activities, she was in a soccer team I had to pull her out of because this whole situation happened. But she made a lot of friends and she really loved that school. She really did.
Um, and so you said Alyssa was seeing her like once a week?
I would say about once a week, maybe minimum, not really. It would be like once, twice a month on the weekends. Because again, I would have to take her to school and I would have to drive to Midlothian on Sunday, pick her up, bring her back home to Garland, and get her ready for school on Monday morning.
Okay. And what about doctor's appointments? Who was taking Ella to the doctor?
I've been taking Ella to the doctor since she's been an infant. I've been the only one that take her to the doctor, to the dentist, pediatrician. Anytime she's sick or if she has a checkup, it was always me. Um, it was only me. Her mother would not really attend. I would try to sometimes FaceTime her mother during these situations so she can at least see that her daughter's doing okay. But it was always me in those offices. Same thing with haircuts, all that stuff.
Okay. And the medical records that we admitted into evidence, which of you was filling those out? Anything that called for a parent to fill out, which of you was filling those out?
I was filling those out every time.
Okay. And were there like questionnaires or they're like, how is your child doing on this or
Of
that?
course, of course. And I always answer them very honestly. And Ella um was with me a lot of the majority of the time, and I got to be able to help her in the areas that she struggled on, but also was able to see the areas she was very strong at. So of course, always answer them very, very honestly.
And at your residence in Garland, does she have her own space there?
Yes, Ella has her own bedroom. She has her own restroom, a closet. She also has her own little TV, her own privacy. She has her own little space in my house. Yes.
Okay. And is that what she's until this case, is that what she was used to?
Yes, yes. Until this case, that's what she was used to. Her mom pulled her out of school. It was 2 weeks already at school. She pulled her out, and I just felt very disturbed for my daughter, honestly. So
Um, does she, does she seem like she's doing okay with all of the changes?
I think she's doing good, but again, she's just 6 and she doesn't really get to explain and feel how much she really feels, but I can see that she's a little bit just kind of I want to say disturbed, not too much disturbed, but very irritated of moving school. She does like her new school now. At least that's what it looks like. But I can't tell when it started, even when it's time to go back to her mom's. She doesn't want to go back and stuff like that. So yeah.
Okay. Um, and are you asking that that Ella go back to living with you?
Yes, yes, I would really appreciate if we can do that. Again, I always drive Ella to where she needs to get to. I'm very flexible with transportation and can move around, very flexible to where if God forbid an emergency, I can take her to the hospital. I can take her to after school activities, stuff like that.
Okay. And are you asking that that Alyssa pay you child support?
Yes, if it's what we need to do, right?
Are you concerned about
I'm
that
not
part?
I'm not concerned about it at all. If it's there, it's there, but I'm not really too worried about it. I just want my daughter home.
Okay. And if things were to stay 50-50, so under the orders that we have right now, the two of you are 50-50?
I would hope so, yes.
Okay. But I mean, in terms of like you have your daughter half the time and her mother has her the other half the time?
Yes.
Okay. Um, if the if the judge decides to keep you with the schedule you have under the temporary orders where you're 50-50, would you ask that maybe you guys share the cost of the health insurance and then you just pay offset child support to kind of even out y'all's households?
Yeah, that'll be okay too. Again, I also don't mind covering the health insurance if I'm able to come to an agreement with her mother of Ella, with me being the primary caretaker of my daughter. I can pay that insurance, you know.
Okay. You just want Ella to come home.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I pass the witness.
Okay. Attorney
Uh,
Whitford.
Yes, Mr. Medina, you said that you had an agreement with my client that she broke when she moved to Midlothian.
Yes, sir.
So did my client have an agreement with you that said that she would continue to live in Garland?
It was never nothing written, sir. It was just kind of verbal.
So there really was no agreement that said where my client would live, was there?
Guess you're right, sir.
And you stated that my client moved to Midlothian and lived there the entire school year from September of 2024 through June of 2025. Is that accurate?
It was a little bit closer during the middle of the first year of her kindergarten year is when she decided to move.
Oh, you're talking about when your daughter was one, or I'm sorry, was
Uh,
4 or 5.
n- no, yeah, when she started kindergarten, Mr.
Okay,
Allen.
isn't it a fact that my client lived in Garland from September of 24 until December of 24 with the
Um,
child's grandfather?
yeah, but she wasn't really staying there much. She was
Objection
mostly in my home.
non-responsive, Your Honor. And isn't it also true that Ella lived with her and her grandfather, her maternal grandfather, from June of 24 until December of 24?
We were sharing custody, Mr. Allen.
Objection non-responsive, Your Honor. But my client was, I'm sorry, Judge,
Sustain.
but my client did live in Garland during that period. Isn't that true?
Yes, she did.
And that's why she was enrolled in school in Garland. Isn't that true?
Yes, it was.
Okay. And it wasn't until December of 24 when my client moved to Midlothian. Isn't that accurate?
If I can recall, yes, sir.
And isn't it also true that in December, my client and you too felt it would be best for Ella if she stayed in the Garland school to finish the spring semester?
To finish the school year, yes.
And that would be the spring semester, right?
I believe so, correct.
Okay. And didn't y'all also agree, as you admitted to in our last hearing, that as soon as school was over in May of 2025, that Ella would move in with her mother in Midlothian?
That was never agreed upon. It was a thought that we thought about, but we never fully kind of came to a decision on what would happen, Mr. Allen.
So even though you admitted that it was agreed upon in the last hearing, you're stating now that it never really was agreed upon. Is that correct?
What I'm saying is, Ella, Alyssa didn't have a way of transportation. I was just looking out for
Objection,
my child.
non-responsive, Your Honor.
Sustain.
Uh, is it your testimony that my client never took Ella to the doctor?
Correct.
Never in her whole life she took her to the doctor?
As far as I know.
And she never took her to the dentist?
As far as I know.
Okay, and she never took her for a haircut?
As far as I know.
And that's your testimony. Okay. Uh, you've testified that you want to split the medical insurance premium. You were ordered to pay the entire medical insurance premium in August. Isn't that true?
I don't remember, Mr. Allen.
Okay, well, I'll represent to you that that was ordered, and it's in the order that was signed by the judge in October. Have you paid anything in medical toward, have you reimbursed my client for any of the medical insurance premiums for Ella?
No, sir, but I have to continue.
Thank you. Objection to anything after no, sir. Have you paid any of the ordered child support to my client since September?
No, sir.
And is it because you just don't believe in following court orders?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Is it that you don't believe in following court orders? Is that why you haven't made
Oh,
those
of course
payments?
not. Of course not. That's not at all.
But you haven't followed the court orders in that respect, have you?
No, sir, I have not.
Okay. And it was your idea for you to have 50-50 and take Ella to school in Midlothian. Isn't that correct?
Yes, sir.
And my client didn't object to that if it could be worked out. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And it's working out pretty well, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. Your daughter's grades are good, aren't they?
They are wonderful.
And her comportment is good, isn't that true?
Yes, sir.
Are
Yes,
you are you aware that her mother works in the same school that Ella attends school?
of course. Of
And don't you think that that's beneficial to Ella to have her mom there every day?
course.
Okay. Your Honor, I pass the witness.
Okay, Attorney Dale.
Mr. Medina, I just want to ask you a few income questions in case the court changes the child support today. You are currently employed,
Yes, I am. I am self-employed, Mr. Dale.
and what kind of work do you do?
I have my own business. I wrap vehicles.
Okay. And what's your average income per week?
Per week, roughly around anywhere between $800 to $1,000 a week.
Okay. And you are self-employed?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you said previously that you do have private health for your child. Is that correct?
Can you repeat it, Mr. Dale?
Do you have health insurance available for Ella?
I do not have health insurance, but I do plan on getting some really soon.
Okay. And that would just be through a private
Correct.
third-party source, correct?
Correct, Mr. Dale.
Okay. Do you have any other children besides Ella?
I do not.
And do you know if Miss Castillo is employed right now?
I believe she just got her first job. Yes, sir.
Do you know where that is?
I'm McClatchy Elementary in Midlothian.
Okay. Do you know what her job title is? Is that as a teacher?
I don't think she's a teacher. I think she's like a helper, Mr. Dale.
Okay. Do you have any
Not too sure.
do you have any personal knowledge of what her income is working there?
No, but I think teachers make around like 1,800 a month or something like that.
I'll pass the witness.
Okay. Anything further, Attorney Margle?
Just briefly, regarding the child support, when did you find out how much child support you were ordered to pay?
It wasn't not that long ago. It couldn't have been more longer than when we got the order. right? I want to say about a month ago or something like that, maybe less, honestly.
Okay, so August, September, beginning of October, did you know how much child support you would need to pay?
No, I did not.
Okay. And to be clear, did you and Alyssa agree that your daughter was going to move to Midlothian with Alyssa or
Uh,
not?
no, it was just it's gonna be like the weekend on, 1 week on, 1 week off during the summer kind of thing.
Okay.
Instead of just every other weekend during the school year.
Okay. And until this case, which of you was your daughter more used to living with?
She's more or less used to living with me in Garmin.
Okay. I pass a witness.
You actually just ran out of town, counsel.
Well, then I guess I'm done.
Okay,
Uh,
Attorney Wittenberg.
You said she was living with you in Garland. Isn't it true that she only lived with you in Garland from December of 2024 until approximately May of 2024? That she lived with her mother before that?
No, no, no. She was
Okay,
with me.
and
She was with me most of the time, Mr. Allen.
she was living in your house and not living with her grandfather, with her mother and mother?
No, it was possibly about every other weekend, but she was mostly in my residence, sir.
Okay. And now you're denying that even though you admitted this in a previous hearing, you're now denying that you had an agreement for your daughter to move to Midlothian. Is that correct?
Uh, no, I never agreed to her to move to Midlothian. We were
Well,
just,
but you testified that you did agree at the last hearing, didn't you?
well, I'm sorry if I got the wrong information, Mr. Allen.
Okay. Uh, I pass the witness, Your Honor.
Okay, anything further from the state?
Not for this witness, Judge.
All right, Attorney Wittenberg.
How much time do I have left, Your Honor? Your
I
Honor,
did-
I'm sorry. How much
I
time
did-
do I have left?
2 minutes and 54 seconds.
Okay. Well, I call my client, Ms. Castillo.
Okay, go ahead.
Ms. Castillo,
Yes,
are you the mother of Ella?
I am.
And let's just get to the heart of the matter. When did you move? Who did Ella live with from June 24 until December of 24?
She lived with my father, so
Well, were you living there too?
yes, along
So would it be accurate to say she lived with you and your father?
yes,
Okay. And what happened? And in December of 2024, you decided to stop living with your father, the child's grandfather, and to move to Midlothian to live with your mother. Is that correct?
correct.
And at that time, did you have a discussion with Mr. Medina about whether Ella would stay in the Garland school or not at in December of 24?
Yes.
And what did you think would be best for Ella at that time?
Well, we wanted to ensure her stability, so we kept her to finish the spring semester.
Do you have an agreement with the father that he's now denying as to what would happen, where Ella would live after the spring semester was over in 2025?
Yes, we had a verbal agreement
And what was that agreement?
that once spring semester was finished, she would then move with me and start
Move in with you where?
in Midlothian
Okay.
and attend school in the next semester.
Okay. You never withdrew her from school, did you?
Objection, leading.
You never took her out of school during the semester, did you?
Same
didn't-
objection.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the objection.
I didn't hear the objection, counsel.
Leading.
Wait, sustain, don't lead.
Did you ever take Ella out of school during the semester?
I did not.
So when the father said you withdrew her from school, uh, he did that wasn't during the school year, that was just at the end of the semester. Isn't that correct?
Yes.
And did you enroll her in the Midlothian school when you did that?
Yes, once our order was granted,
Okay. And uh, when were you going to pick Ella up and move her to Midlothian by the agreement?
as soon as it was granted.
Well, as soon as were you going to move her as soon as school was out in the spring?
Not in the spring. And then are you talking about in
I'm talking about I'm talking about the spring of this year, when school was over in May, what was the agreement as to who Ella would then live with?
with me
Where?
in Midlothian, Texas?
And is that an agreement you and the father reached?
Yes.
None of your agreements were ever written down, were they?
No, they were not,
But you
unfortunately.
believed the father when he agreed to that, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Objection leading.
Um, overrule, you're out of time, Attorney Wittenberg. Anything from the state?
Briefly, Ms. Castillo, are you currently employed?
Yes, I am.
Where do you work?
I work at McClatchy Elementary School. Excuse me.
And what's your job title?
I'm a paraprofessional,
Do you get paid hourly or do you get paid a salary?
hourly,
How much do you make per hour?
$15.50.
And how many hours a week do you typically work?
40.
And do you ever get bonuses?
No,
And do you have any other source of income at this time other than through this job?
no.
Do you have any other children besides Ella?
Yes, I do.
How many others?
Only one.
Does that child live with you?
Yes, she does.
How old is she?
She's 3.
What kind of health insurance do you have for Ella right now?
I have Blue Cross Blue Shield. It's through TRA.
I'm sorry, is that through your job or just you bought this as a third
My-
party?
Through district.
I'm sorry, one more time, you cut out.
I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
It's through my employer.
Okay. And how much money do they take out of your paychecks for that, for Ella's portion? Do you know?
I think around 300, 200. I was trying to find a price just for.
Your Honor, if I may, the premium is our exhibit one.
Hold on 1 second. Her call dropped. We're going,
I can bring her into my office, Your Honor.
okay.
You have phone headphones here.
I apologize about that, Your Honor.
No, you're okay. Go ahead.
But yes, so I looked everywhere just for the exact price for my dependent, but I couldn't find it, and right, I found it.
Okay.
Is it? Wait.
Your Honor, my client is reading from exhibit one, which the OIG can take a look at himself.
All right, Judge, I'll just move on and we can, since
Thank
it's
you.
admitted. Last question. How often are you paid, Miss Castillo?
Monthly.
Pass the witness.
Okay. Where both sides are out of time, did you want to call father back?
Your Honor,
Yes.
I would request that each side be given 2 extra minutes.
Okay, denied. The court has questions. Mr. Medina, do you know or have reason to know that Ella is in any type of danger with her mother?
No, I don't think she's in any kind of danger at all, Your Honor.
All right. Do you believe that there is some sort of an emergency going on at mother's home that will warrant her needing to be removed from mother and placed back with you?
No, other than this is actually her first year of her being sick, actually being around her mother, her grandma, and yes, ma'am.
Would you consider that a bad thing?
Um, I don't think so. Maybe concerning, but not at all.
Okay. How have the visits been going since you all have had the temporary order in place?
It's been fine, Your Honor. We've actually been doing this for a long time before the case, so everything is smooth. I'm just
All right.
always the one making the drives. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so things are smooth, but you want to change it?
As far as Ella being in a household where she doesn't really know those people too much, Your Honor.
Those people, you mean her family?
Yes, ma'am. Sorry about that, Your Honor.
Okay. You said you're doing all the driving. What do you
Yes,
mean by
ma'am.
that?
When it's time for switches for our visits, if it's time to go to her mom's, I'm usually the one taking my daughter back to her. And if it's my weekend, I'm usually the one picking her back up.
All right. And that's pursuant to your temporary order, right?
I believe so, Your Honor. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you also get a travel credit of $200 a month for I guess you can look at it as your gas for the round trip, right?
I think so, Your Honor. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you're asking for more on top of that?
No.
Okay. I guess the court is just trying to make sure I follow what it exactly is that you're wanting the court to do. Because if there is not an emergency reason to remove Ella, she's not in an unsafe environment, she's with family, she's with mom, you're receiving a credit for your round trip. The court is just trying to figure out what is the issue that will warrant a change at this time.
Other than Ella being more comfortable and having her own space at my residence, um, Ella was in a lot of after school activities. She has a passion for soccer, and I was taking her to her practices and stuff like that, Your Honor. And unfortunately, I can't take her to practice if she lives too far in Midlothian, and she's just more I see her more comfortable in my residence, Your Honor.
I think he's just trying to reestablish the status quo from before the temporary orders.
Okay. The court will take this under advisement and I'll give you all a ruling out tomorrow.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
Thank you, Judge.
you
Are we
all.
dismissed?
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Welcome. Bye-bye.